Welcome to our Lunchtime Live program on WJEJ, a partnership between the radio station and Washington County Public Schools. This is Will Kaufman from the Public Information Office. We're here the third Thursday of the month to talk about public education in Washington County and sometimes beyond. I have a couple of guests today. We're going to start with Mike Embly from the Food and Nutrition Services Office to talk about this year's food show. A lot of excitement on the first edition previously, and a lot of excitement already building for the November show this fall. And Chris Kopco is here for the first time to talk about the William Brish Planetarium on Commonwealth Avenue, a part of our old headquarters and still holding strong and, in perfectly cliched terms, bigger and better than ever. Sharper and shinier, and a lot of technology upgrades, and we'll talk about that. Gentlemen, welcome to the both of you. Appreciate you coming out. Mike, we're going to start with you on the food show, the second annual, November 7th it is. I'm going to let you fill in the rest.
Correct. It's our second annual, as you said, Monday, November 7th. We're offering two sessions, 4:30 to 6, and then the second session is 6:15 to 7:45. We do ask parents to pre-register. They can call our office. That number is 301-766-2890 to pre-register. And it's a great event. It's a great way to come out and see current products that we're offering. And the biggest thing that we're doing is bringing in products that we want to try either in the second half of the school year or for next year. We have surveys. Parents will go around using an iPad and can go to the different booths, sample products. We have a lot of scenarios where we're comparing, say, two chicken patties, so that you can see two or three different companies and decide which one you would like to see in the school. It's also a great time to learn the differences of the foods that you're receiving at your local restaurants and the school food. We are highly regulated, and it's a different product than what you're seeing in your local restaurant.
It seems like there were two things, just in the way we set up the first one and the information I gained about it. Regular conversations with you and yours in the office, and a sense of how we presented it and how we're presenting this one to the public, making the point that there's always going to be that segment of the population which may not have all the knowledge to know exactly what goes on and why we have to do the things we do in serving food in school cafeterias. Like you said, there are regulations, there are guidelines, and we have to abide by them. So it can't be McDonald's every day. It can't be some higher level steakhouse every day. It's got to fall somewhere where it's certainly presentable, it's certainly tasty as best we can do, but it has to fall within the guidelines. I find this, and I think the first one played out like that, where we opened a lot of eyes.
We do. We really do. And it's great to see. And that's why, we're very transparent. We want people to come see what we're doing. We want you to taste the foods. We want you to be educated on the things that we're doing for your kids. There's also some other educational opportunities. Our food safety company is there, Food Safety Solutions, to talk about their program and our food safety programs. They're also going to have some resources for parents to use at home, which I think is great.
What is that? Explain what a food safety program is.
Food safety is our required safety program that follows the flow of food from the time we receive it until the time that it goes out to the kids in the cafeteria, monitoring time and temperature and hazards in between to minimize and eliminate those hazards. The kids that we feed are the most highly susceptible to foodborne illness because of their age. So our food safety plans are written to the nth degree to make sure that we keep the kids safe.
It has to be even more challenging because just the physical aspects of all the serving locations vary from place to place, from building to building.
They do. But our staff does a great job with the resources that we have available to us. So parents can come, they can stop by that booth and learn, food safety. So it's not just food show. We have an HR booth. If you're interested in employment opportunities, you can come learn about our free and reduced program. You can come learn about our online service, NutriSlice, My School Bucks. All great resources for parents, and this is a great opportunity to meet the team. The administrative team will be available to answer questions. Our food brokers are there to answer questions about their products. It's just an all-around great event.
Do you know right now? I mean, can you tease us a little bit with what what'll be on the tables, what vendors will be there, and what they might have, even in general terms?
I'll give you a sneak peek, and I learned of this one yesterday, and I think it's a great thing.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen.
Breaking news. We're just starting to work with a company called South Mountain Micro. South Mountain Micro is an aquaponics farm located in Boonesboro.
I'm sorry, what?
Aquaponics. Aquaponics. It's a method of growing the produce.
Right.
And we're currently using some of their lettuce products in Boonesboro. So they're going to be at the show to demonstrate what they do and everything that's entailed with aquaponics. It's a really neat program. Hershey's ice cream is going to be there. Now, I
can hear the phone ringing right now.
This is great.
The office.
That's the intent. So
yeah.
The Hershey's ice cream, and this is where industry has really done well at meeting the needs based on the regulations that we need to follow. So you might think ice cream, that's unhealthy. Will come and taste the ice cream that we're serving in the schools, because it's going to be a little different than the products that you're going to get at the convenience stores. We have new breakfast items, smoothies. There's going to be 2 companies there that we're looking at working with that are going to be doing smoothies. New snack lines. Again, not the same snacks that you're buying in the stores. Different makeups, flavor profiles, and we want you to come in and try those. We're also featuring a few things what we call speed scratch items. One of the companies we work with is Riches. They make a dough product that we take their dough products and then make a technically from scratch item. We don't have the facilities to make dough and master dough making. But what we can do is take that raw product and raw ingredient and turn it in to a homemade scratch creation like stromboli, calzones, pizzas. That's some of the folks that are going to be new this year.
Some of our listeners went to school maybe a generation ago, and their kids or grandkids are going to school now, whether it's here or just within the listening area. Can you give them, if they haven't been in school lately and don't have a perfect handle, how much different is the school cafeteria? Truly, from a student leaving class, going to the cafeteria, getting in line, does it go completely differently than it ever has before?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing we hear is choices. Folks that we hire and bring in that went to school a decade or 2 ago, right, will tell us that, wow, when we went to school, we got one choice. They put it on the tray, whether you liked it or whether you didn't. Now the kids have so many choices, especially when it comes to fresh fruits and vegetables. At any given time, we're offering 10, 15 fresh fruits and vegetables at our schools. So the kids truly do have a lot to pick from.
The vendors who will be at the food show, they're actual vendors and that we have agreements with them for business now, or are they coming are they sort of competing for our business at the food show?
Both.
Oh, no kidding.
Both. And some companies represent different manufacturers.
Okay.
So they may, there may be one company that's representing 3 or 4 manufacturers,
right,
and they'll have their plethora of products. But they may be competing with 2 or 3 other companies that are there trying to get that business. And that's the best way to determine what products you're going to bring in. Taste testing, putting 6 chicken patties on a tray and tasting the difference between all 6.
So it's conceivable. This is great. It's conceivable that at the food show that a chicken patty vendor may sweep the field.
Correct. Correct. It is. It's
like the chili cook-off.
It is. And we do our homework because we want to bring the best tasting product, the best
right,
nutritional sounding product to the table for our kids.
I assume cost effectiveness it's not going to come into play at the food show for sure.
Cost is definitely an issue. But if it comes down to a few pennies per serving, and you clearly have a product that is of better quality, we're going to go with the better quality product.
Right.
To some extent. If you're putting, filet mignon, it won't fit in our meal pattern and budget.
And is not at the food show.
Correct.
Even as a feature.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Not that wouldn't be fun some year.
Correct.
We might need a private sponsor for that particular.
Correct.
That particular booth. Do the contact information again. The point being we don't mean to put a little bit of an onus on parents, but here's the reason for the reservation is so that we have an idea of how many folks and what number of food items we need, etc.
Yeah, so each session is limited to 150 people.
Okay.
Because of space and logistics and being able to allow an enjoyable experience for everybody. So the 2 sessions, 4:30 to 6 or 6:15 to 7:45, they can call our office to register, 301-766-2890.
Okay. And that date, by the by, in case it didn't register, it's the Monday before Election Day. I believe we're off that day.
That's
the
correct.
Students are off that day. So it's a different sort of non-school day. And so maybe that'll give folks some more flexibility.
Yeah, and last year we did this in the spring. So we wanted to try a different time frame of the year so that, again, we can bring in some of those products the second half of the year when we make some changes. And that's why we decided on the earlier event this year.
Right. Can staff just wander through, like flash their badge and grab a filet mignon?
We really prefer that they pre-register just to be able to control the numbers.
And to put it in their employee file.
Right. We have over 3,000 employees in the county. Right. 3,000 employees that all show up at the food show. We're in trouble.
Excuse me, Mr. Kaufman. Didn't you go through here 3 times prior
right,
to this?
Correct.
Okay, do the phone number one more time, and then we'll send you on your way.
301-766-2890. I really, really encourage parents, and we want you to bring your kids. This is for parents and students of Washington County schools. I encourage them to sign up and come out and see what we're all about.
Well, in a broader sense, too, you guys, just as a final note, you guys take on feedback at all turns.
We do.
I mean, folks are pretty willing to express opinions about food, good or bad. And you guys are wise about using those opinions.
Yeah, and this is why we're doing what we're doing. We really want to hear from the public, whether it's good or bad.
Sounds good. Mike Embly is our guest from the Food and Nutrition Services Office of Washington County Public Schools. The food show is on Monday, November 7th. Again, you can contact the Food and Nutrition Services Office at 301-766-2845. Check in as reservations are being taken there. You're listening to Lunchtime Live on WJEJ. We're here the third Thursday of the month at this time. And I'm joined in our second segment by Chris Kopco, who's in charge of the planetarium, the William Brish Planetarium on Commonwealth Avenue, where our old central office used to be. Most of the central office is gone. You remain.
It's a little lonely over there. It's me and transportation and the buses.
An old stalwart. You and the transportation department and the buses. Yeah, exactly. Although that does lend there's some stability in that, where folks don't have to find the planetarium. It's where it always has been.
That's right, and we have people who have been coming to the planetarium for long before I was part of it. So, yeah, it's easy for them to find.
The point is to draw more people to it. We certainly want to get folks' attention on a newer, sharper, more technologically upgraded planetarium these days. Tell me the changes. What about the changes?
Well, it's definitely something that's worth coming out to see. The technology that we used to have, I kind of compare it to kind of like the Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation, where he's sitting up there watching the old home movies. We had stuff like that and the slide projectors and stuff like that, and that was kind of our technology, along with the Star Ball, which was awesome.
There's a certain charm in those things.
Right, just a little bit outdated. But now it's all digital. So I would compare this more to if you've ever been to an IMAX theater. Yeah. That's kind of the experience that you're going to get. It's going to be only you're immersed in it. It's 360 degrees around the dome. And aside from that, we still have the sky, except for now when we talk about Mars, I don't just point to a dot and say, that's Mars. We can go to Mars. We can go anywhere you want to go.
Right. That's tremendous. How much of an adjustment has it been for you to upgrade your presentation?
It's ongoing. It's definitely a challenge, because not only do you have to learn how to present this, but you've also got to learn how to use the technology effectively, the most effectively that you can. So it's definitely been a challenge, but we work with Spitz is actually the company that provides this, and they focus on education, and so they've been great. They had somebody come in, and I did my training last week, and it's fantastic. Some of the things that we've built, we built actually for the upcoming eclipse in August. If you can't get down to, say, Columbia, South Carolina for the eclipse, come to the planetarium. We'll show it to you.
Yeah, no
we'll
kidding.
show you it in 50
Yeah, right.
different ways.
Right. That's tremendous. You have a public event also. We want to make sure we draw attention to that now, and we'll do it right at the end of the show. What's that public availability?
So we have coming up here, we have got on the 26th of October, we have an open house for people to come and just get an idea of all the different things we've done. It looks totally different. New seats, new carpeting, and then, of course, the upgrades to the planetarium. That will be from 7 o'clock until 8 o'clock. And then we've got all kinds of public shows.
On what date?
That is a Wednesday, October 26th.
Because we don't want to come out just any 7 to 8 o'clock. We want to make sure it's actually on the day.
That would be helpful. Yeah, there may not be anyone there other days.
Talk about the public programs that are presented. I mean, this is annually. You put together a series of programs, and it's a nice schedule, and the public can come out on those evenings.
Absolutely.
Aside from the school programs you do during the school day, the public programs are different than what the kids are getting during the day?
Absolutely. The kids are actually getting lessons. They're getting in. They're using the software in the classroom, the same software that we use in the planetarium. They're building. Sometimes they're building their own computer models and simulations, bringing them over to the planetarium. This is more focused on a night sky tour for the public. We do it generally the first and fourth Tuesday of the month. We have a 5:30 program for kids, so we do still kind of a night sky tour. Get to see what's out there right now, but then you also get the IMAX type of experience. You get a presentation that, one of them that we have, I think the first one we're going to do for kids is called One World, One Sky. I actually showed it to my 5-year-old son last week just to get an idea of what he thought, because he's into Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. I didn't know.
Right.
He loved it. He absolutely loved it. So if you've got a young kid,
I like that whole business of a test audience.
Absolutely.
You got a built-in test audience at your house.
I figure I'm pretty good with my taste is kind of 5-year-old type stuff, so
exactly. And your behavior sometimes.
Right.
So this is perfect.
So, but we'll have programs, and for the kids, it'll be twice a month. We'll have the same program. So if you miss it the first time, you can come back the second time in the month and you can do it. For the 7 o'clock program, that's aimed at general audiences, and we've had great support for this. So we were able to get enough shows that we can do a different one every single time. So if you love the planetarium, and by the way, it's not too cost prohibitive. It'll cost you $3 for adults, $2 for students to come. But if you come out and you really like it, you can come back twice a month, every month, and see a new program. So it's going to be fantastic.
Right. Check the website, the school system website. Just look for the planetarium. Search for planetarium, and it comes up easily. The full schedule is there. You have a Facebook page. Well, I mean, where else? Where else can folks get
You can find it our Weebly website. You can go to the website. We have a very limited presence on Facebook. I just need to get better at that.
Okay.
And then we'll have a better presence.
I'm sorry to
at
ambush you on that one, but right. And now that'll spur more action. On
well, that's right. That's one way to get it going.
is to publicly call you out.
Right, exactly.
On Facebook that's not as up to date.
Whatever works.
Nevertheless, the information's available. Phone number for folks to get you?
301-766-2898. And you can call there. I have classes. I'm the only one at the planetarium, so a lot of times throughout the day I'm with classes, but as soon as I can get back to you, if you have questions, happy to get back to you and answer anything I can.
Is the day-to-day work you do with students at the planetarium at all times, or do you go out to school?
I go out to schools too. Actually, the planetarium is half of my job, so I'm also the STEM resource teacher for the county for the other half of my job.
Okay.
So I go out and I work with teachers with that too. But also we have a Star Lab, which is a portable planetarium. So that goes out to the schools too. Actually, we had it out at Fountain Rock yesterday. They were kind of our guinea pigs. We learned that you can't put it, because it's a brand new one. It's also digital. It doesn't have the resolution that ours that the planetarium has. But we learned that you can't put it in somewhere with a low ceiling, because the center drops down in, and that's not very good. But right.
Yeah, exactly. Describe the Star Lab. What is that for folks who haven't been exposed to that at all?
So the Star Lab is essentially it's like a portable planetarium. You go in. We used to have one where you had to crawl through. It looks like a big igloo is what it looks like. And you used to have to crawl through this tube, and then you come into this big open space. Now there's a door. It's big enough that it has its own door. You just come right in. You have a seat, and we can do pretty much a lot of not everything, but a lot of things we can do at the planetarium. We can do in the Star Lab. Again, and the resolution isn't as good. Like I asked the kids about, what do you see that's different about the stars? And one of the kids said, well, that one's a square. Not outside, but yeah, it is there because the resolution is not that great.
Yeah, right.
But it's still the amount of things we can do in there. I mean, you can show the eclipse in there. You can show anything you want.
Right. How do you work with staff on curriculum? How do you fit into the curriculum?
So I've been part of some of the curriculum teams in Washington County. What I do is I'll work with Tara Ellis for the elementary part, Bobby Burkhart for the secondary part, looking at places where the planetarium will fit in with what the teachers teach in the classroom. So they're not just coming for just some random lesson. It's directly connected to something they teach. And it's not just astronomy now. With our new upgrades, we can do things on earthquakes. We can do things on volcanoes. We can do any type of earth science. Soon we'll be able to do things on, now I'll need teacher help for this one, but anatomy and physiology. There's actually in the dome, you put up on the dome a human body. And modesty is preserved on this human body, but there's a human body. You can go in and you can study the bone marrow. You can study the brain. You can study the chambers of the heart.
That's
kidding. Not necessarily
Why am I just
thing.
hearing this right now?
It's something it's brand new. They're not completely finished on it yet, so we don't have that technology. We don't have the capability yet, but it is a part of the package that we purchased. So that's coming soon.
Man, that's full service all of a sudden.
It is. It is, and we have history lessons too. Actually, there's lessons on. Actually, there's one, and those ones they almost always deal with astronomical phenomena. But there's one on before Abraham Lincoln was president, on how he used the position of the moon to help somebody to prove that the witnesses that said that they saw an attack by moonlight, that they were lying because of the position on the moon at that point in time. Yeah, that's amazing the things we can do.
Yeah, that's very cool stuff. When you put together a season's worth of programs, what goes into that? The planetarium shows.
It's a lot of it is looking ahead and seeing what's coming up. So, like for example, in August we'll have the total solar eclipse that you'll be able to see. You have to go a little further south to see totality. But we try to build the programs around what's coming up a lot of the time. So like if there's a comet coming, if we have a comet program, then we'll put that in there. But the live sky tour, when we plan that out, that's planned with a lot of that stuff in mind too. And especially now because we can go to and see it. If there's a comet coming, we can go forward in time and we can see that comet. We can go back and we can study comets that happened 100 years ago, 200 years ago. We can go back 100,000 years if we want to. So it's a lot of looking at current events.
Are you more amped up today than you have been before? I know you have a lot of energy about you. I mean, I've known you for a while. It seems like you're just good to go. It seems like there's an extra zip to this right now.
It's amazing. I feel like I'm just starting over again.
Yeah, huh.
I feel like the first day that I started working at the planetarium, and just that wow, like oh my gosh, look at what we can do here, and the potential to build these programs is just you're right. It's just I'm excited.
Yeah, let's review the public opportunity, which is next week. Now, I mean, if you're hearing this on replay, please be aware of the dates. But as you're hearing it live in real time, talk about the date and the public opportunity. And then I want you to just give us one more flavor of the season's worth of programs coming up.
Sure. So Wednesday, October 26th, from 7 to 8, you can come out to the planetarium. We are going to have, it's going to be an open house. You're going to be able to see everything that's going on. We're probably going to have something like, they have movie trailers for the programs that we're going to do. So we'll probably have those looping in the planetarium. Right. So you can get an idea of what it's going to be like. We're going to have Rod Martin back, who was the planetarium director before
like
I came
75
here.
years.
At least. So
we're going to have to wheel him in.
Yes, Rod, he always talks about how tough retirement is with all the golfing and fishing, but he made time in his schedule to come up from Myrtle Beach and join us. Yes. So he's going to be there, and he's going to be there to help kind of show some things too. Right. We've had other folks who have been involved with the planetarium over the years will be there, and it's just going to be a fun night. And it'll give you a chance to see what we'll be able to offer.
Right. One more time, then, a general run through of how folks can come out on a regular basis, month after month, to see different programs?
Sure. So you're going to look generally the first and fourth Tuesday of the month, unless schools are closed.
Right.
Then
Check
we
the
we
schedules.
adjust.
Right.
But 5:30 program for kids, 7 o'clock program in the same evening will be for general audiences. You just come out to the planetarium. We don't have a reservation system or anything like that. It's first come, first serve. I always tell people, if you're going to come, we open doors half an hour early. So
Okay.
I would get there as early as possible. I know that even with the slideshows, we would sell out sometimes. So, it's possible that we may have to shut the doors.
Just the way it is.
Right. And if you get there late, even if we're not totally sold out, unfortunately, we can't let people in, because once the show starts, it's dark. We don't want
Right.
people getting hurt,
Right.
things like that.
There's a small charge.
Yes, it is $2 for students, $3 for adults. If you have a Washington County Gold Card for senior citizens, you get in for free. Washington County Public Schools, it's just like going to any sporting event. If you work for the county, you get in for free. And then kids under school age also get in for free.
What I'd like to see would be the popularity building to a point where folks are. There are sellouts, just program after program. People are scalping tickets.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll give you 8 for those. We want to get in.
We know what Will's going to be doing.
Little private enterprise. The one thing I wanted to just make sure folks are aware, when you say that 5:30 program is geared for the kids, the adults are in there with the kids.
Oh, yeah.
But the presentation itself
Yes.
is skewed younger.
Exactly, and that just came from people always wanted to bring their kids, and sometimes things were just so far over their heads whenever you came
Right.
to the public shows, and it wasn't really holding their interest, and just wanted to give the kids something that they could come, and if they don't get to do it, especially with their school groups, then at least they get to come and experience in the evenings, and it's been very successful.
How about a quick mention? You have a relationship with the Tri-State Astronomers? Yes?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What are they all about?
They are all about taking astronomy and making it accessible to people out in the public. So they do all kinds of public stuff. Actually, if you come out on November 5th, we're going to be doing a part of the statewide star party for the Maryland STEM Festival. We're going to be holding free and open public programs from 6:30, 7:30, and 8:30,
Okay.
and 9:30 actually. We're going to be doing those at the planetarium, and the Tri-State Astronomers will be there and down at the Downsville Pike office, and they will be doing star parties. So they'll be showing people, all the wonders of the night sky.
At a much higher, you're such a geek.
Oh,
But,
thank you.
I say as a compliment because, your energy level about this is it's contagious. It really is. It's very exciting over at the planetarium right now.
It really is. It's like I said, I haven't been this excited since the first day that I came on board.
Yeah,
So.
that's excellent. So on the 26th, which is next Wednesday, 7 to 8 is the time frame for the public to come out.
Yes.
Just take a look around.
Yeah,
Talk with
absolutely.
you, talk with other folks who have been a part of the process. Take a look around, get the program schedule.
Yep.
And we'll be
we'll
ready
have
to
that
go
all
for
there.
the season then. Great, Chris. Thanks a lot. I
Thank
appreciate
you,
you
Will.
coming out. Chris Kopco is heading up the planetarium operation for us and part of our Lunchtime Live program. We're here the third Thursday of the month at this time, a partnership between Washington County Public Schools and WJEJ.